investigation into singer David has intensified after the body of a teenager was discovered in a Tesla that has been linked.
It starts with a shaky camera feed, the glow from Caleb's monitor lighting up his face. His eyes are glued to the screen, eyebrows furrowed, and his voice trembles as he speaks. Wait, no way. You're telling me this is the federal timeline? His disbelief fills the room. The chat on his stream scrolls so fast it's unreadable. Thousands of viewers watching live can feel that something big is happening. This isn't just another reaction stream, this is the moment everything changes. The night starts normal, but before it ends, Caleb's discovery will shake the internet and raise one impossible question. Was David actually framed? For months, the internet has been obsessed with David's case. Everyone has their version of the truth. The fans who defend him, the critics who call him guilty, and the media that seems to enjoy every twist. But when the so-called federal timeline dropped, an official document outlining David's whereabouts during the days leading to his arrest, people expected it to settle everything. Instead, it made the mystery even darker. Caleb, who's known for being one of the most honest and emotionally raw creators online, decided to go live and analyze the findings in real time. What he didn't expect was to uncover cracks in the story that no one noticed before. The video begins with him laughing nervously, sipping from his cup. "All right, let's get into it," he says. "We've got the timeline right here. I'm not here to defend anybody. I just want to understand what really happened." His tone is calm, the way it always is at the start of his streams. But as the minutes pass, that calm starts to slip away. The deeper he goes, the more inconsistencies start to jump out at him. He scrolls, rewinds, and double-checks every paragraph, his face growing paler with each discovery. According to the federal report, David was spotted at a downtown studio around 10:42 p.m. That's where investigators claim he stayed until nearly midnight. But just 16 minutes later, another record, surveillance footage from a gas station on the opposite side of the city, shows someone looking exactly like him. The timestamp reads 10:58 p.m. Caleb freezes when he sees it. "That's impossible," he says quietly. "He couldn't have been there that fast. That's a 40-minute drive." He rewinds again, zooms in on the timestamp, then checks the federal PDF. The chat starts blowing up with messages. "No way that's real. They messed up the times. Someone's lying." At first, Caleb laughs it off, thinking maybe it's a typo. But when he digs deeper, things stop making sense altogether. The report lists several phone calls and text messages between David and his manager that night. But the phone records released earlier in the case show something completely different. Those same messages never existed. In fact, at the exact time one of those calls supposedly happened, David's phone was on airplane mode. Caleb leans back in his chair, silent for a few seconds. The silence is heavy, the kind that makes every viewer lean closer to their screen. Finally, he whispers, "This ain't adding up. Somebody's playing with the facts." The more he reads, the more nervous he becomes. Every page of the federal timeline looks too neat, too organized. Every conversation perfectly timed, every movement perfectly documented. "It's too clean," Caleb says, shaking his head. "Real life isn't this clean. Something's been rewritten." He scrolls down to a section labeled Supplementary Notes, lines of text describing what witnesses saw. Two witnesses, both claiming to have seen David leaving the scene, describe the exact same thing word for word. The phrasing, the punctuation, identical. Caleb frowns, comparing the paragraphs side by side. "You see this?" he says to the chat. "They literally copy-pasted this. It's like someone wanted to make sure the story lined up perfectly." The live chat explodes, wild theories flying everywhere. Some blame sloppy government errors. Others see a sinister cover-up. Caleb doesn't jump, but his voice cracks with tension. Scanning the PDF metadata, his heart sinks. The creation date doesn't match the release, and it was edited after finalization. He whispers, "Why change an official document after release?" The stream falls silent. "This is why I don't trust their stories," Caleb says. Every time they drop something, the narrative shifts. Then he finds a line that stops him cold. A studio confirmed 10:42 p.m. Timestamp with GPS coordinates that don't match the studio at all. Caleb's jaw drops. "That's a parking lot," he says, voice low but stunned. They literally marked a parking lot as the studio. The chat erupts. Screenshots flood in. Twitter and Reddit blow up with federal timeline is fake, and Caleb exposed the government. But Caleb? He's stone-faced. He's been down this road before. When a story looks too perfect, the truth is always worse. This is how scapegoats are made, he says quietly. They craft a story that looks right, even if it's a lie. He scrolls further, stopping at a signature, a name that sets off alarms. The same agent linked to cases full of suspicious evidence. Caleb's voice drops to a whisper. It's the same person. The chat goes wild. Caleb leans in, hands trembling. If this name keeps showing up and the data keeps shifting, someone's controlling the narrative. His voice breaks. They might have framed David. The words hang heavy, like a shot fired in the silence. Caleb just sits there, frozen, the monitor's glow painting harsh shadows across his face. You can almost see the realization forming behind his eyes as the pieces lock together. He remembers David's old interviews, how he once said he was being watched, that industry people were trying to silence him. Everyone thought he was paranoid. Even Caleb had laughed it off. But now, staring at this timeline, the laughter feels like guilt. He plays the clip again, David's voice trembling. I don't trust the people around me no more. Caleb's voice drops. He was warning us, and we ignored him. Then the real shock hits. A viewer sends a screenshot. Metadata from the timeline showing 3 edits, one made after the official upload. Caleb's heart sinks. 3 edits? That's impossible, he whispers. His tone hardens. They changed evidence after it was filed. The chat erupts, disbelief turning into fury. They're rewriting reality, Caleb says. And David's the target. Caleb's expression tightens, eyes narrowing, voice dropping to a serious, almost haunted tone. If they can do this to David, they can do it to anyone, he warns. They can rewrite your entire life on paper and nobody would ever know. The room feels thick with tension. He takes a slow breath, letting the weight of it settle. I should have seen this coming, he mutters to himself. He warned me this might happen. Months earlier, during a late-night call, David's voice was shaky, distant. People are watching me, he confessed, trembling. I don't trust anyone anymore. Caleb had brushed it off, thinking it was paranoia. Now that dismissal stings. It wasn't just fear of fans. It was something darker. Now armed with suspicious timelines and altered files, Caleb's guilt flips into fierce resolve. If this timeline's fake, he vows, I'm gonna prove it. He downloads everything, urges his viewers to screenshot and save before the evidence vanishes. The hashtag Dar David Framed explodes across social media, flooding news feeds and sparking fierce debate. But Caleb's not celebrating. They won't let this slide, he warns quietly. As glitches ripple through his stream and PDFs disappear from servers, he leans in, voice low. Record everything. This won't last. By 3 a.m., exhausted and raw, Caleb's voice breaks. I don't know what to feel anymore. But if David was framed, he deserves the truth. Caleb leans back, silent for a long moment, staring at his own reflection in the glow of the monitor. The room hums quietly with electronics, the chaotic chat slowing into a steady stream of quiet support. We're with you, one viewer types. Keep fighting. Caleb forces a weak smile, nodding. I'm not stopping, he says firmly. Not until I know who did this. As the stream winds down, he plays one last clip. David performing a raw, emotional song from months before everything fell apart. The lyrics hit different now, like a desperate cry for help. Caleb watches, torn between anger and sorrow. When the music fades, he whispers, sometimes the truth hides in plain sight. You just have to be willing to see it. The camera lingers on Caleb, his eyes reflecting the open files still glowing on his screen. The tension is thick, almost suffocating. Finally, he breathes out, this isn't over. Not even close. The screen fades to black, replaced by a simple message. More updates coming soon. But off camera, Caleb's hunt continues. Hours later, viewers spot fresh posts, archived versions of the timeline, saved copies before edits wiped evidence clean. Someone's scrambling to erase the trail, but it's too late. Caleb's video explodes online. Millions of views, fiery debates, and a growing movement demanding the truth about David. In the following days, the media scrambles. Some call Caleb a conspiracy theorist, others a whistleblower. But the public sees what matters. Edits, lies, silence from officials. Caleb stays silent too, still piecing it all together. Weeks later, a cryptic email lands in his inbox. "You're looking in the right direction, but be careful who's watching." His hands tremble as he reads it. He closes his laptop, breathes deep, and whispers, "If they think I'm backing down, they don't know me. The live stream may have ended, but the fight and the truth have only just begun. And the truth have only just begun."